once upon a time, many years ago, there was this kid, this girl, just out of college, and she was looking for a job. And she was living here in Maryland and didn't know where to turn. And someone told her, you need to go and call your congressman. And she said, a congressman's not going to talk to me. I'm just a lowly person. They said, this congressman will. You need to go. So she called, and the first surprise she got was that she actually got an appointment. And then the second surprise she got was when she showed up, she actually got to meet that congressman. But the biggest surprise of all was 2 weeks later, she got the nicest letter of recommendation that helped her get a job at the Kennedy Center that ultimately led her to become a professional opera singer. Fast forward a couple of years, well, many years, and it's so nice to know that some things never change. And I know from whence I speak because I was that girl. And it was because of my Congressman, Steny Hoyer, that I was able to live a dream that I never thought that I could. And it's so nice to know that time and seasons change, but certain people in your life never do. Because once again, I called and he answered. And it's with profound gratitude that I say thank you and welcome to our event today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You know, let me tell you the other aspect of that story. I have been blessed by the people of Prince George's County and Charles and Calvert, St. Mary's and Anne Arundel County to be in a position for 12 years pastor in the state senate and for the last 29 years in the Congress of the United States to have the opportunity to meet people like Yvette Lewis and to have some small role in helping them succeed, in making their life a little better. And I don't delude myself. I played a small part. Yvette Lewis and each and every one of the people that we talk to, they've got to do it for themselves. But like every one of us, they need a little help. Maybe a little more help than some others. But they need help. And, you know, you've heard me quote, Yvette, I know you've heard me say this, but I got really enthusiastic about John Kennedy. And I got into politics because of John Kennedy. He came to the University of Maryland when I was a sophomore at the University of Maryland. I heard him speak in 1959, and I got really excited about what he was talking about and saying that people could make a difference and that young people could make a difference, and they needed to try to make a difference. And I got really excited about that, and I switched majors. Simone and Lisa have heard this story, and I switched majors and got into political science and history. And just a few years after that, 7 years later, I was elected to the state senate here in Prince George's County. I was 26 years of age when I started running, turned 27, and elected to the Senate, and got the opportunity to meet people like Yvette Lewis and her family, and so many of you, some of you I've worked with through the years. But it's so yes, it's nice when people tell those stories, but let me tell you, it's nice for me to hear it because, you know, I feel like I've had a part in doing something for our country through them, through making the opportunities for them. So I'm pleased to be here. We just came from a breakfast that I love every year. You know, it's Black History Month, and we celebrate the accomplishments of Black history. We just sang, once again, we sang it just a few minutes ago, Yvette. Now, I should have had Yvette sing it. I'm going to, Simone, you mark that down. Yvette Lewis is going to sing Lift Every Voice with us. She's going to lead it next year, okay? We got to recruit, Pastor. We got to, you know, member of the congregation we're going to call forward, right? You know, we Baptists are used to calling people forward. But I'm pleased to be here. I can't be here a long time, but Yvette, I heard about this, I guess. What, Simone? Simone's the boss. Let's, Simone, I want you to, Simone LaTrenta. Stand up, Simone. and Lisa Bianco, who runs my campaigns, but this is not a campaign event, but Simone, more importantly for your purposes, runs my schedule. She runs my life. So we heard that Yvette wanted me to be here. I guess we heard middle of the week or something, Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday. And I said, well, if Yvette Lewis wants me to be there, I'm going to be there. Now, I've got something else to do later today, but I said, we're going to be down in Charles County. We can get up there and we can get back. We can put this in. And Pastor, I wanted to be here with you and with so many here. Let me talk just briefly, as we did. We had a wonderful, Valerie Jarrett, wonderful speaker. She gave a wonderful message. And Simone and I were talking about the message she gave. And she talked about her father, who was a doctor. He went to Howard, then he went to Howard Medical School, and he went to work for a hospital in Chicago, and as a medical doctor, professional. And they said, she didn't, I don't forget what the year was, but it was obviously 30, 40 years ago. And they told him, he said, we're glad to have you working here. You know, you come to work tomorrow, et cetera, et cetera. But by the way, you got to come in the back door. It's a medical doctor. You got to come in the back door. Well, he said to himself, you know, I've worked awfully hard. I went to undergraduate school. I went to graduate school. I've worked really hard. And I've worked that hard to go through the back door. I'm going to be down in Montgomery, Alabama this weekend. Simone was with me last year when we went down there with my dear friend John Lewis. And Rosa Parks said, I'm in this seat. I'm not going to give up this seat. I'm just as good as any of you are in this bus. And Valerie Jarrett's dad, a doctor, said, I'm not going through the back door. So the next morning when he came to work, he went in the front door. And nobody said anything. And then the next morning, he went to work. And in the front of the front door were standing all the African-American employees of that hospital. And they all walked in the front door with him. What a wonderful story. Nobody said anything. That was the last time any African-American was told to walk into the back door. What a wonderful story. And what a example of the difference we can make, just like Rosa Parks. No big demonstration, no big yelling and screaming, but I'm sitting here, thank you very much, and I'm going to stay here. I'm just as good an American as anybody else in this bus. And as we celebrate Black History Month, we celebrate a overcoming. I mentioned the song, We Shall Overcome. All of you have sung it. It's a wonderful song. I love to sing it. We're going to sing it on Saturday right back of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church up on the hill where the Civil Rights Memorial is. And we'll stand around. There'll probably be 100 of us, members of Congress and activists and others, stand around the fountain, the water fountain there, and it memorializes those who lost their lives in the civil rights struggle. And we'll sing We Shall Overcome. And what Black History Month really celebrates is overcoming. Overcoming enslavement, overcoming second class, third class, actually no class. We don't talk about first class, second. There was a no class, and it was no citizenry. It was property. And how anybody could have justified that when we say that all men are created equal is beyond me. But we did. But it's a lesson for us that some very smart, good people could delude themselves that they could say that and not live it out. That's what Martin Luther King said. You know, we say this, but we're not living it.